to Don't Call Me Crazy, Call Me Mom podcast.
This is a judgment-free zone where we talk about all things motherhood.
And in today's episode, we are going to talk about relationships. And not just relationships with your spouse, even though that's our probably big part of our focus, but friends, your own family, how things change after having kids. And we have our guests back with us. So I do feel like things drastically change a lot. I mean, I know things change with me just with friendships. Not in a bad way, but just before kids, if I got a text message, I was reading them and responding promptly all of the time. I must have at least 20 messages not even opened right now, and I look at them and I see who they are from, and I read it, or read the beginning of it so I already know what they're going to be talking about, and I'm like, I'll respond later.
Yeah.
But after having kids, there's never a later to respond to.
Yeah, I find myself doing that a lot too. I'll read a message and then I'm like, oh, once I'm done with this, I'll respond. And then it's 3 days later and I'm like, oh, I don't think I ever responded to that message. Yeah, so I
do it all the time. Yeah. I'll be like, how come they never responded back? And then I go look and I'm like, because I never responded first.
Yeah. And even I am the queen of sending reels online, like Instagram and Facebook, but I have probably 100 or more reels between the two that people send me that I don't know.
Yes, I am the same way. I'll get 20 from one person at night, they must be just on a roll. Yeah. And I'll be like, I see what they all are. I'm going to have a dedicated time to watch these.
And then you never make the time. You don't have the time, so.
Yes.
So when I do send you the same reel that you sent me, I'm sorry.
Yes, all the time. But I realized, thinking about that, we were going to talk about this today, that you were the first friend I found who had kids. We met when Brayden and Madison were babies, or little bit over a year. And the first, I have to say, mom friends that I fully connected with. And that's when I realized, because I have my best friend since I was in 3rd grade. And she's even my son's godmother. We've always stayed in touch. We try to see each other, but our schedules obviously don't align very well. She works full time. I stay at home, but I have kids activities every weekend. So we talk often, but we don't get to see each other often. But she was the person I've talked to forever about everything. But then meeting you, I was like, oh, this is a person I can talk to about all my crazy mom stuff. Mm-hmm. And I think being a mom, having that kind of mom friend is so important. That was a relationship I didn't know I needed until I met you.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I think, too, previous friendships, I still have a lot of the same friendships, but I don't find myself being able to talk to them as much because, we don't live close like we used to. We don't have the same interests that we used to when we were young. Neither one of us do, because we both have kids, but we live far apart. So it's just hard to keep up with some of the same people as you used to be able to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it's also hard, even meeting other moms, for example. I found it hard if another mom, I think we're going to be friends, but I feel we're very, very different. And not even the way we parent, because I actually picked up tips from other people parenting them. Oh, I like how they do that. But I just might feel differently about things they do, and we just don't have that automatic connection. But with you, I was something was there where I was just we're meant to be mom friends. But there's just people, I don't know. With Steve and I were talking, and another mom, we were talking about how we realize people come in and might go out of your life, but when you really look at the times you guys were friends, it was they were meant to be there during that time for a specific reason, and you might not realize it, but when you look back, you're you got me through something, or you were there for something, or you were part of my life in some way when you were supposed to be a part of it.
Yeah. And I think right now, in this part of life, it's what you need is like what's effortless, because we already spend so much time dedicated to our children and our families that it's so hard to dedicate a lot of time to other things. So when friendships take too much work, which, of course you need to put in some work for your friendships, but you can't put in the work that you used to. Like, you can't. It
can't be expected
from
the other person.
Yeah.
I've heard people make comments like, oh, well, like, if we were good friends, you would be doing XYZ for me. And I'm like, doesn't mean I don't value our relationship, but the priority relationships in my life are my kids and my husband.
You don't even have time to do XYZ for yourself.
Right? Yes.
We learned that already.
So I was just like, if you're telling me now that you think I should spend more time putting into you, then we're not going to be as good friends as like maybe I thought, or have that relationship, because I don't have that time. And if I do have any of that time for something like that, it's probably going to go to my family, like my kids and stuff.
And you know what? In the future, like 15, 20 years, when the kids grow up and go away to college, we'll have that time again. And we'll have more time to find ourselves again and connect better with our friends and have time to make those friendships. But right now, it's hard.
Yeah. I have to say, like, I feel like I have lots of friends or like acquaintances that I'll talk to often, but I probably, like, as of right now, sitting here, have 3 people who I feel like are in my life right now that I'm closest to, and they all serve a different purpose for me. Like, my best friend since 3rd grade, because we've just known each other forever. We know his sense of humor. And that's another thing. A lot of our messages are like jokes or something right away that's been like a running joke since we've been kids. My messages with you are all like reels about parenting or being a mom or something. And then there's one other mom, and I feel like she's basically like my life coach. And she's gotten me through things that I was like, I don't know what to do here. And she's like, put on your big girl pants. This is what you have to do. And then everybody else, I'm like, I have other friends, but those each are like the important, like, fill in all the buckets that I feel like I need as far as like a good friend. I can say something to you and you're not going to like look at me like I'm nuts. Or you do. I don't know, but.
No, I don't.
I know you don't, because you usually feel the same way.
Yeah, no, I always say that I don't have any friends, which I know that I do. I have friends, but yeah, I guess I just, the people that I find myself with the most or talking to the most are the people who, I don't have to put all that effort into, and they're pretty much right now like my mom friends. So like you, or another one of my friends where my daughter hangs out with her son, and we try to get them together more frequently, but we don't always find the time. So sometimes I'll see her like 2 times in a week, and then I won't see her again for 2 or 3 weeks. But it's never like, the friendship doesn't take work, because we're both busy and we both work, and it is what it is. So,
and I think I lost my train of thought. Something you said made me think of something, and now I can't think of what I was gonna say. But you've told me before how before we actually started doing this podcast, because now we see each other on almost a regular basis, but we will talk like a weekly most of the time, or send each other a quick message or something, or a reel. But we would go months without seeing each other. But as soon as we would see each other, it'd be like that time never even lapsed. Like, we picked right back up.
Which is what you need.
Yes, I think that's a huge thing. I will see even friends that we have in common. Like, we only see each other when one of the families has birthday parties. And sometimes I talk to them in between, but we don't really see each other, hang out. But when we see each other, it's like nothing ever stopped. But we're all in the same boat. We all have kids, and we're all super busy right now. So I feel like when you don't have expectations for them and they don't have expectations for you, no one gets offended. Like, you didn't reach out, or I put something sad on something, or I have feelings about something. Like, no one holds any of that against them, because I feel like we're all kind of dealing with our own thing. And the more pressure you put on me, It's just going to make me
Yeah.
feel really sad.
You can't always expect too much because not everybody puts everything online. So you might not know what somebody else is going through. Somebody might be going through a rough time. And if you get upset at them for not reaching out to you or talking to you or checking in on you, they might be going through their own thing that you don't know about, that they're not ready to share with people.
Yeah, absolutely. Not everybody is so vocal
Yeah.
on social media. They might have their own stuff. I agree. So yeah, I think as far as friendships go, when you become a parent, I didn't realize it till I met you, but how important it is to have like that go-to mom friend who you can bounce your feelings off of and they don't look at you like you're nuts. And then just the different relationships. One of my mom friends, the one who actually I feel like is my life coach, gave us a kid's book about filling the kids learning how to fill their buckets or fill other people's buckets. So like if another kid's having a bad day, like at school, trying to teach Madison, like think about why they're having a bad day and can you fill their bucket a certain way to make them feel good about themselves or tell them something positive or whatever. And I feel like it definitely applies for grown-ups. Like you have to have certain people in your life to fill all your buckets. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
But then your relationship with your husband, that completely changes too
It does.
after kids.
Yeah. It's funny because I always see people saying like, "Oh, marriage is work. It's so much work. It's so hard." And for the longest time, I was always like, "It's not that bad." Like I didn't think it was that much work. But now I think as the kids are getting older, it is more work and it is harder. It's different, and it's hard to just find the time.
There is no time. Yeah. That's what, when everyone's like, when you have that baby, like when the baby sleeps, you should sleep. But then I'm also hearing like, well, when the baby's sleeping, like take time for like you guys watch a movie or eat something together or you do laundry then or whatever. But then the baby sleeps and you sleep or whatever it is. Like when the kids are at school, you go take time for yourself. But actually when the kids are at school, that's when you should do all your other things. I'm like, there's no time for anything, much less my relationship. I can't do all of it at all. And I often find myself, and my husband knows this, so if he listens, he won't be surprised at all that I say this. But I say all the time, I feel like we're roommates. Like, and we're just passing and going. We have 2 kids. And especially on the weekends when they have different activities at the same time, we just divide and conquer. And lately I've been finding myself, it'll be like a Sunday night. I'll be like, all day yesterday and all day today, I feel like I didn't see you. Like we crossed at dinner time quickly and then we put the kids to bed and then we both just need some calm down time and we go our separate ways. And before I know it, I was like, I don't even know what he's been up to recently. We just don't, I don't know, have that time.
Yeah.
And we're both very different tires, I guess I should say. He needs to decompress because of work all day a lot, but I'm tired. Like if I sit down to do anything, I'm probably going to fall asleep. I'm like drained, tired. I don't need to like decompress my brain. I just need to rest. So like watching a show or something, just usually that doesn't help him feel better and I fall asleep. So we just kind of go our separate ways at night and we just don't have that time.
I feel like we get the same type of tired as you guys. Like I am drained, tired. I fall asleep. We do watch a show together every night on the couch. That is like we have like a 1 hour after the kids go to bed before we go to bed and we watch a show. And I find myself falling asleep most nights because I am drained, whether I worked or not. I'm drained either from working and getting up at 5 and getting home at 8 or drained from being with the kids. But I don't know, Mike is never trained like that. He's just, he needs to decompress and...
Yeah, maybe it's a guy thing.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. But, yeah, I just feel like, I really do feel like we're roommates. I say that all of the time. And...
Yeah.
We both agree and we both say all the time we want it to change. We like, let's try this, let's try that. But then when it comes down to that... One, there's either no time, and if there is time, again, we're just so tired. So I'm like, there's a million other things I want to do in this moment. And my in-laws, they're constantly like, we'll watch the kids. You guys go on a date night or do something. They always offer, but I'm just like, if I have like a kid-free day, I probably want to take a really good nap. Like, I just can't get myself to be like, let's get dressed up and go out. Like, that just...
I think you need to do it, though, because there are times when we do go out and, we're both tired, too. But I think once you get dressed, get the clothes on, get your makeup on, and actually go out, it changes things. You feel so much better. I think you just need to do it. I try really hard not to make us feel like roommates, but Mike works a lot, and we don't have a ton of time together. So I do try, when we do have time together, to make it count, which it's hard. It is hard to do.
Well, that's like when he has off Sundays and Mondays, or if I know Brayden doesn't have school Monday, or I know Sundays, like, I was like, give them their family day. Don't bug her today.
Yeah.
Like, because they're probably finally doing something all together or something.
I always feel bad when somebody wants to do something like, how about this day? And I'm like, I mean, I guess I could. It would be the best day because then I don't have to find someone to watch the kids. But, you know, I really want to, do something with the family or whatever.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
It's like almost impossible to juggle it all. I keep losing my train of thought. There was something else I was about to say about husbands after having kids, or like your relationship.
Well, I think too it changes so much because before having kids, you did focus mostly on your husband. Mm-hmm. That was not your priority. I mean, you had work and other things, but as a person, he was your priority.
Yeah.
And then when you had kids, that shifted. And then, your husband and the wife, they kind of get put on the sidelines.
This is a question. Like, it's like after you have kids, like Steve and I come from the same place and we feel the same exact way, which is helpful. But both of us say, and I tell him, if you don't feel this way, you should, because this is how I feel. And I would not be mad at you that you felt this way. Like, the kids are my number one all of the time. And I was like, and I know a lot of people feel differently. They say their marriage is number one. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. Whatever, maybe my marriage should be number one. But I don't know. I'm like, not that my marriage is going to go away one day or anything like that, but I'm just like, I brought this life into the world. They are fully my responsibility. Mm-hmm. He's his own person. He can take care of himself and everything. The kids need me. And for the rest of their lives, they will always be my number one. I love Steve to death. I will do whatever for him too, but I've heard people say like that's wrong thinking. And maybe it is, but that's just how I feel. But Steve actually feels the same way. He's like 100%. The kids are too. Doesn't mean like if there was a choice, like, hey, I really need this and the kids need that, like one of us is going to lose. It just means our priorities. Like we make sure the kids are always taken care of, ready to go, have what they need. And whatever's going on with them is done first. And then we'll be like, okay, now what do you need something? Or... So many times we find ourselves like, just worry about the kids. We can figure our stuff out. Even meals, like just worry about feeding the kids. We can figure our stuff out later.
Yeah, I agree with you. The kids are the priority. They need someone to take care of them, and we brought them into the world, so we are taking care of them. So I do agree they are the number one priority, and they will be for the rest of our lives, like you said. But I do think that it is important to give your relationship a little priority too, not above your kids, but when you said, when you have everything figured out for the kids, or if the grandparents are going to watch them or something, it is important to take care of your relationship too, because you don't want your relationship to fall apart.
Yeah. I do have to say, I can easily see with like, not that I've had these feelings, but with how busy people get, or like Steve and I will be so busy with separate things with the kids, like sports here, another kid has another sports here, both have different birthday parties, and then we're going to bed and we didn't see each other all day. And then if I'm like annoyed with him for some reason, the next day I like bicker with him, or we're passive aggressive to each other, and we're like, we didn't even see each other, and when we are around each other we're like bickering. I've never had divorce thoughts in my head, but I was like, I can see how if things go on forever, why that's such a common thing these days. I can see if people like really resent each other, or they're just two separate lives living in the same house because they're so busy with kids. I can see how easy it is that people fall apart. It's sad, but I can understand how that would happen.
Yeah. And you also want your kids to see a happy, healthy relationship because
Yes.
you want them to have that. So if they see that you're happy and they see that you're having fun and like Brayden and Olivia, they know, Olivia doesn't understand, but they know that sometimes we're going to go out on a date night or something like that, or a date for lunch, something like that. So then Brayden, he'll want to have a date with me.
It's cute.
Yeah. So it is important for them to see and hear things like that. Because
And they'll know that that's a relationship you should always put work into
Yeah.
when they get older.
Yeah.
I agree. Actually, that's a good point.
Yeah.
And you see things like your daughter is going to look for the type of person your husband is because they see how he treats you, or like you want your son to be the type of person your husband is and treat women the way your husband does, or vice versa, like you being a good example for your daughter, or however it is. And I did see a thing on social media that was like, kids should see, it's a little video, but it's like kids should see their parents like giving each other a kiss or tickling each other or dancing in the house and being silly, not just cooking, doing laundry, good night, I'm taking this kid here, and just passing and doing your jobs or your chores. They should see parents having fun together in front of them, which is like what you're saying. So I think, yeah, we try to do that. Like Steve will walk up behind me, like tickle me in front of the kids or whatever. But I guess this is a question for you or for any viewers, what it's like for like PDA or affection. I feel like I love it, but I rarely think about doing it, like showing affection or whatever. But if Steve just walks up and like kisses me or like wraps his arms around me or whatever, I absolutely love it, but I never think to do it.
Yeah.
And it rarely happens that when it does, the kids are like, what? Like even our dog, he's like, you guys are standing too close, and like gets in between us. Or if Steve's hugging me, Madison will be like, oh, it's family group hug time, because she doesn't see us hugging often. We're so busy that we never stop to do it. So they automatically think like, she's like, Carter, come on, it's time to give a group hug. Mommy and Daddy are hugging. And I was like, we're just having a moment. It's not a family thing, but it is now.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Do you guys show affection more?
We do. When you say PDA, it makes me think like
teenagers.
Yeah. So we don't do
like
that.
making out in front of your kids.
It's not. Like
I just mean showing affection. Sorry.
No.
Yeah.
You're okay.
You guys don't just sit down and like fully make out while your kids are.
No, not usually.
I do think of like a teenager in high school when I say PDA too.
Yeah.
Because they're like, no PDA at school.
No, but we do like hug or kiss on the forehead, something like that, in front of the kids, and they don't think anything of it. A lot of times, like even if I'll pick Olivia up and tell Olivia like, I'll give Daddy a kiss, she'll just take my head and push it in.
To Mike's do it
for me to give him a kiss, stuff like that. And I'm like, no, you give Daddy a kiss. But I mean, we're big on like doing hugs and stuff like that, so they are used to seeing that.
Oh, we don't. I mean, we do like if we just. Like, Steve can often come down and tell if I'm, like, cooking dinner and the kids are playing, but if he knows it's just been, like, a busy day, not a bad day, just nonstop, he'll just come in the kitchen and he'll put his arms out. And I've always told him that since we were dating, that's one thing I've loved is his hugs. But it's just as soon as it happens, the kids are like, ooh, it's like a magnet. Like, Mommy and Daddy are together. Let's just get in there.
Yeah.
But I always thought it would be a thing, like, my husband comes home from work and he comes right up to me and gives me a kiss first and then greets the kids and all that. But he doesn't come home from work. He's already at home because he works at home. And usually he comes downstairs and I'm cooking and that's it. But does Mike come home and give you a kiss? Yes.
He normally
you guys
does.
are that picture perfect
No, we're not.
little show.
We by far are not. But he normally does, but I am the worst because I will come home and I'll do 12 other things and then I'll remember that I didn't come give him a kiss. So
it's funny you say
that.
Because when Steve comes home, if I'm sitting in another room with the kids doing something, I wait for him to be like, is he going to come in and say hi and give me a kiss or whatever? But I'm the same way. If I come home and he's doing something else, I'll be like, I'll wait till he comes to me. And I'm like, why is it? I have really weird standards. But yeah, I wonder if anybody else, do you find yourself more affectionate or less affectionate? I feel like we should be more. I should do it the amount that I want Steve to do it. I should initiate it myself. I shouldn't just wait for it. But I do think it's a good thing for the kids to see.
Well, that's what I've told Mike, is that I want them to see that kind of stuff because I want them to have that type of relationship. So
Yeah.
I feel like we do try more now
Oh, okay.
to do that. And especially because, like I said, it is getting harder as they're getting older. Relationships are just harder. So we're just trying to put like a little bit extra work into it.
I think especially having a daughter too, because nowadays I feel like a girl's image, and as she gets older, like becoming a woman or whatever, how they feel about themselves is so drastically different these days. Like Madison has already said 2 times now, and she's 7, about being chubby or something already. And I'm like, you're 7 years old. This shouldn't. She said one when she was even younger. I was like, this should not be a thought in your head or a worry. But in today's world, obviously that's how things are. It's so sad. But like, to do things for a dad to show his daughter like the value they should have for themselves, so when they get older they know what to look for or expect in a man. I'm like, even down to like when Steve proposed to me, I've had friends who say their husband or whoever they were with at the time didn't ask permission or anything, but Steve went to my dad, who lived in Virginia, my mom, who lived in Florida, and my grandparents, my dad's parents, because I'm super close with them also. They live in Florida, and he made me think he was on a business trip for Colorado, like made a whole fake itinerary, but looked up real plane flights and everything. And the whole time he was going, asking everybody's permission and traveling, paying for hotels, everything. And I was just like, if I ever have a guy that my daughter's dating who does not even consider like coming to see us and ask our permission after the like bar Steve set, I'd be like, I don't approve of this.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, Madison, your dad set the bar so high that there's going to be no excuse for anything less, I feel
I
like.
love that.
But I just feel like a dad and daughter relation, and same with like a mother-son, but I don't know, just seeing my daughter and how things are in today's world and her confidence that she has or doesn't have or whatever it might be, I feel like I can tell her things until I'm blue in the face, but it's just different when it comes from daddy.
Mm-hmm.
So even like they had a daddy-daughter dance, and he got her a corsage, and she came down the staircase like you're going to prom or something, and he's waiting at the bottom in his suit with the corsage and everything. And I was like, this moment I will remember forever. So I'm like, whoever you are with needs to be this exact same way.
Yeah.
So if she marries Brayden, no.
He'll be that way. He will.
I think they're just gonna be friends forever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do think we probably should be more affectionate with each other. I think I should do it. And that's another thing I do too. I hold Steve to a level that I think this is wrong of me, and he's watching. Yes, I'm saying this, and he's probably gonna remember, but I think how I do things, he should do things too. And then if he doesn't, I get upset or I resent him or whatever. And that's not fair of me to do. But I
think we all do that. Yeah. Especially when it comes to like disciplining the kids. Like, I will yell at the kids, and then the second I see Mike yell at them, I'm like, really?
It also sounds so mean when the guys do it too.
Yeah. It's different. I don't know.
I mean, I'll yell at my kids and they don't even bat an eye. They're like, and also, obviously, you hear my voice. I sound like I'm like 5. So I feel like they don't take me seriously. But Steve will just be like, what did I say? And Madison will cry instantly. And she'll be like, Daddy's yelling at me. I was like, he's just trying to get you to listen.
It's definitely different when Dad does it than when Mom does it, for sure.
Yeah.
And I think, too, that is why I react that way, because the kids, they don't take me as serious either. But then when Mike does it, they will get upset. And then I'm like, oh my God, you're making him cry.
Yeah.
But really, he should have listened to me when I yelled at him.
Right, yeah. We wouldn't have had that happen if they responded to you. Yeah. Well, that's I expect Steve to be, I am a very selfless person. I don't do, obviously we talked about that before, but I don't do anything for myself or whatever. And I always make sure the kids come first. Saturday mornings, this is a small example, but we'll be so busy and Madison has ice skating at 9 and Carter has sports right after, and then Madison has play or whatever it is. We're packing bags with lunches because we're gone basically all morning. And I will not stop and eat or even drink my coffee or anything until I know everything is done. And most of the time we're out of the house and I never even ate, and I don't eat until we come home later. Mm-hmm. Whereas Steve will carve out the time for himself in the morning to sit down and eat food. And it would bother me because I'd be like, I'm not doing that. I'm getting stuff ready for everybody else. Why do you have specific time that you get to sit and eat?
Yeah.
But that's not bad. I shouldn't get mad at that.
So that's me with my coffee. I cannot function without it. But I mean, I can move and drink my coffee. I'm not like just sitting at the table or whatever. But I need to have my coffee. So maybe he needs to have his food.
He does need to eat. I will say the coffee that I talk about drinking every morning, unless he's traveling, he does make my coffee for me. And if I'm driving the kids to school, he'll put it in like a travel mug, or if we're going to activities or whatever. So if I'm like running out the door and didn't get to eat anything, my coffee's always sitting there ready.
Yeah, that's sweet.
So I should say thank you for doing that all the time. Because when he travels, I text him all the time. I'm like, I just realized it's like 11 o'clock in the morning and I haven't had coffee yet because you're not here to make it.
Oh my gosh, you just realized that at 11.
Because Madison's out, we have to be out the door so early for her. And when I'm like doing breakfast, packing book bags, getting lunches to get, all of that, and I'm like, we're basically rushing. So once everyone's where they're supposed to be, I'm like, now what do I need now?
I let Charlie out in the morning and press start on the coffee maker. Like, it is right away. I cannot do anything without my coffee.
But I won't go do any, like, he starts softball actually this Sunday, and he plays spring, and it goes partially into summer, and then he'll play in the fall, and it goes a little while too. And it's every week, and then he'll want to go to the gym on the other days if he can, and then he wants to play his computer games at night. And I'm like, you have plenty of time for yourself. What's the last time I did anything? And I'll get upset at him for it. But that's my fault because he gives me all the opportunity to do stuff.
You guys need to do something together, though.
So I find myself resenting him often, and I shouldn't. And I know I shouldn't. So if you watch this, Steve, I know I shouldn't. Probably still going to do it all the time, but just know that I know I'm not right for doing it. But I'll still do it.
I think we all do that, though. It's normal. I mean, you've been with him for how many years now?
15, 16, 17? Yeah. I don't know.
And just life has changed so much since you guys first got together to now. So
I will say something after kids that's changed for the better. The things we used to make each other mad with before kids would be the smallest thing, and we would just get frustrated or annoyed or whatever. Now I'm just like, I don't even have the time or the energy to turn this into something. Like, we'll be like, oh my God, you're annoying me too, and get frustrated, and like, we'll walk into separate rooms now. Within 5 minutes, we're back in the room doing what we were doing again, because we're like, actually, we don't have time for this. We do have to go somewhere or do this. And then we realize it's so silly, and it's never brought up again. Unless it's like a super important, big thing we should talk about. But all the silly things that we would bicker about no longer turn into fights for us.
I'm really big on like trying to communicate. Mike's not as good, but he's getting there. But I am also really big on trying not to go to bed mad. Yeah. Which we typically don't. We really don't ever, thankfully. We always try to like figure it out and resolve it. But I do hate when we'll spend like our Sunday, Monday that we have together just like not in the best of moods. Yes. And then I'm like, gosh, we just wasted those 2 days we have together. And now I have to wait until next week to get that time with you again. And then, you know, sometimes I could be working that next week. So it really does suck when it's like that. Like this week, yesterday and Sunday, I wasn't feeling the best.
I get so excited when you have something to say.
It's nothing great. This is a woman issue. I just wasn't like feeling the best. So I feel like our whole weekend was kind of icky because I wasn't feeling the best until I, went and finally figured it out. And now I'm just like, I have to wait until next week until we can have like a fun family weekend together because I was just feeling off all weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it's just like you're wasted time. It's not wasted, but I mean, like, you're like, this could have been so much better than what it was. Yeah, so I just think it's just hard. Even, like, I feel like family relationships, like, I don't know. I mean, I'm very close with, like, my mom. We talk almost every single day. My grandmother, even Steve's mom, like, his family, because we live by them. We try to do things a lot. But I do have to often remind myself, sometimes Steve says it more, we overexert our own family. We commit our whole family to too much. And we very rarely have just the four of us doing something together. Mm-hmm. And then we find ourselves, whenever we have those days, we are like, this was such a nice day. Yeah. So I'm not worrying about other people and what they're doing, how they're feeling, what everybody else wants to do. It's just the four of us, worried about just the four of us. Mm-hmm. And I think we need more days like that too. Days of just me and him, but also our whole family together. Yeah. I think I commit us to too much.
Yeah. I think another thing too, like back to the relationship thing, like as we get older, we have more, I don't know how to put it, like we are harder on ourselves because, you know, we have wrinkles and our hair is graying and, you know, so I feel like that makes the relationship harder too, because I feel like everyone else around is getting like younger and younger, and I'm getting older and older, so I'm just so much more hard on myself, and like the way I look and my self-confidence is really like plummeting because I'm not as young as I used to be. But you know,
look, Mike, so young.
And Mike works in the restaurant industry with like all these younger people, so it's just hard. I feel like that kind of plays a role too.
I agree. Like, there's been times I've thought, and Steve has never done anything to make me feel this way, I'm also a terrible person at connecting dots that shouldn't be connected. Like, he'll do something completely oblivious that he did it, and then I feel a certain way about something else, and then I'll find any little thing he's doing, and I relate it all to the one thing that I think. So, like, for a while, I was like, I think he's just embarrassed to be seen with me by how I look, because I don't look... I mean, in my neighborhood, everybody works out. Mm-hmm. They're all like tan. They've all had some kind of work done or get Botox or anything. And I do nothing. I do none of that. So I look drastically different than everybody I live around. And I was having some personal like issues like going to a doctor for, and I thought Steve was embarrassed seeing what everybody else looked like. And he I never even told him I thought about the situation. But he was doing certain things, and I was just connecting dots that weren't there, which I do often, and made myself feel a whole type of way that wasn't the case at all. Yeah. But what you're saying, like, and then you'll hear people make comments, other guys, or whoever, whatever, about, oh, that girl looks so good. And, like, we can look at a girl and be like, well, I know what she's had done. And obviously, I don't have that done, so do I not look good? Yeah. So if you think that, does my husband think that about me? And it just snowballs.
And for me, like, I don't have a reason to feel that way, just because, like, Mike always makes every effort to, like, invite me to everything with his work, like, all the events, and he always wants me to be a part of everything. So I'm like, I shouldn't feel that way, but... I
feel like it's impossible not to.
You feel so old. And then, like, after... breastfeeding, things aren't the same, and having kids, things aren't the same, and you know, you're just it's just not the same.
I know. I'm like, I used to get my hair done every month, my nails done every 2 weeks, spray tan. I used to do all of it.
Yeah. But there are so many people that get so many things done, and it's such like a tempting thing. Like, I would love Botox, and I'm not like a big fan of the fillers. I mean, you know, it looks good on people. I would not do it myself. I would do Botox.
You don't need Botox at all. When I sit here and look at you, I'm like,
I would do Botox. It's just so expensive. There's so many things I would do. I would get a nose job. But, you know, there's other things to spend money on. So it's so easy to be, like, so critical of yourself.
I feel like that would be a really good episode to do, too. Like... how you feel about yourself, not only after having kids in today's world. and how everything is. Like, we have a friend in common who actually says often, like, the faker the better, right? And I was like, I hate that that's the standard. I'm not saying anything against it. I'm like, if that makes you feel better, by all means do it. It would probably make me feel better if I got a lot of this stuff done. But I was like, I just feel like it's a slippery slope. And I already don't have the time for it. So if I start something that needs to be redone however many months, I know I can't stick with it. And then I'm going to be even more critical when I see how good it looks. And then that goes away. And I'm like, I need to get it again.
And it's so funny when you look back at, like, what moms our age used to look like years ago.
I know.
So what moms our age look like now. It's insane.
Like, if we talk to our moms, like my mom, your mom, my mother-in-law, anybody about, like, getting Botox and stuff, my mom would be like, you're kidding me, right?
Yeah.
They would think I'm crazy if I told them.
Or their moms. I feel like their moms at our age looked like what grandmothers look like now. Does that make sense?
Right, yes. No, I know what you're saying. That's how it was. And now, I don't know. I just...
Yeah. Now everyone's so focused on, like, looking younger and younger, which is good. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, but I don't have the money for it.
I don't have the money. I don't have the time.
I don't have the time for it.
And then I also don't want my daughter to see me doing all of this and be like, so that's what I'm supposed... She already has made comments about herself. That was another thing. I guess this is kind of like relationships with your kids, too. I read somewhere, especially if you have a daughter, if they're in the room with you, to watch what you say about yourself. And I said it just a week ago, and I caught myself, but I was like, oh my God, I look so disgusting. And Madison was like, what? What are you talking? No, you don't. You look great. And I was like, what? Do you see my hair? Do you see this outfit? Do you see this and that? And I was like, thank you, Madison. Yeah. I agree. Even though I don't agree, but I was like, I need to watch what I say in front of her because I don't want her to be feeling this way herself and saying these things out loud ever either.
Yeah, I know. I do try to watch what I say in front of the kids. I'm not always the best at it, but it is a lot different than, like, when we were young. Because I feel like when we were young, there were always comments on, like, oh, I feel so fat, stuff like that.
And when we were young?
Yeah, when we were young, like, I don't know, like, parents would say that about themselves, not thinking about what the kids are around. And then, you know, we find ourselves doing it at such a young age. So I definitely am trying not to let Olivia hear those words because I don't want her to ever think that about herself,
right?
Or say that about herself, which surprises me that Maddie's already saying things like that at the age of 7, because I just thought that as a society we were all getting a little bit better about that. But I mean, I don't know, because my daughter's only 2, so I'm not there yet. And boys, I feel like, aren't as much into saying those types of things as girls are. So
she's already been told once if she wanted to be friends with somebody at school. Because she likes to wear a clip or a bow in her hair every day. She really loves it. So we have all different kinds. If she wanted to be friends with somebody at school, she couldn't wear the clip, had to wear her hair down. And if she could dye it brown, that would be great. I was like, nope, you're wearing the clip in your hair exactly how you want every single day, and your hair will always be red.
Those are the friends we don't need.
Yes. So I was like, we're going to talk about bullies also, like, end this conversation. But, so I don't know. I just feel like it is different. I think that would be a really good episode. That's like today's world and just how you feel about yourself, because I do feel like eventually that rubs off on your kids.
Yeah. I agree.
But yeah, so hopefully, I feel like everybody, I don't know. If you have
relationships are hard, pretty much. If
you have any suggestions, like what to do, if you feel like you're in that roommate rut with your husband or whatnot, and it's not me arguing him. He feels the same way, which just, we can make that time, but we're just so exhausted. And then we just find that we both need different things when that time comes.
Yeah. For us, I think Mike just feels like it's always the same thing all the time. We're always doing the same thing. So not necessarily roommate phase, but like everything is so repetitive. It's always the same. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just trying to change things up a little bit.
Is that your door or something else?
The refrigerator.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if your family was home. Your kids.
I think it's the ice maker refilling. There's so many noises in this room.
So if you're listening like on Spotify and it gets quiet for a minute, just know we were listening to something. I will say something though before we have to end that Steve pointed out to me. I'm like, he doesn't, like, I'll suggest let's watch a show together or something. And I'm like, when's the last time you suggested doing something with me? On Fridays, he does not work. He has off every Friday. And Madison's in school and Carter has preschool Friday for 2.5 hours. So we have a little chunk of time Friday mornings of just the two of us. And in the beginning of the school year, we went out to breakfast a few times. But then, like, he'll schedule haircuts, doctor's appointments, oil changes, all of that stuff on his off Fridays. And I usually run some errands. And he has actually started coming grocery shopping with me. And he's like, obviously we're not sitting down at a table eating and, like, talking a lot, but it is time that just the two of us are together. Something I usually do by myself, and, like, I bag it all, bring it all home, put it all away. He's there with me. And we end up talking the whole entire time. So I feel like I have to be more aware of when he's doing stuff like that. I don't view it the same as like, hey, we're going to have dinner tonight together, just the two of us, or we're going to watch a show.
You can do a brunch date at First Watch. Have you been there yet?
No, but I heard about it. I mean, I pass it all the time.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I guess all relationships are hard. And if you don't have a mom friend, find yourself a mom friend. I highly suggest it. We all have best friends, lots of multiple friends and everything, but
a good mom friend.
I think having those key friends to fill your buckets is really important. I didn't realize that till just this past year, honestly. But I think the mom friend, when you're a mom, is a game changer. Especially one that doesn't make you feel crazy. And it is always good to have a person who will put you in check, too. Like, the mom who I call my life coach or whatever, she'll be like, why do you feel this way? And I'm like, I don't know.
I need to find a life coach. I do think some of the girls at my work are like that with me, which helps, but I need to find like a personal life coach.
I need a professional life coach.
I'm going to put an ad out, so if anyone's watching.
I feel like anyone I find, they're going to be like, well, first you need medication, and then we can move to the next step. So, yes, relationships are hard, but I do think... And then when your kid starts school, that opens up all other relationships. Parents you meet there and stuff like that. But anyway, I guess that's it for now. Or do you have anything else?
I think that's it for now.
Relationships are... I feel like that's just hashtag relationships are hard. Hashtag.
You'll figure it out as you go.
Yes. All right.
Thanks for watching.
Yes. Follow along. Comment below if you have anything you would like us to talk about. We have lots of topics lined up, but we don't ever mind throwing something else in there. Or a question or anything like that. Bye.
Bye.